Hi, it's Ann. I got a good hat head going here. I just got home from work and I thought today's a good day to cut some apple branches for the rabbits and guinea pigs. Apple branches prepared the right way make a great chewing toy. Okay, the branches I want to cut are these ones that are kind of growing where they're crossing other branches. They're growing out from the middle, like this one here is coming up, pushing against the trunk here. And I'm going to cut this big one out, and it goes all the way up to here, and then we'll see what we do with it next. Okay, make sure you stick to apple, because a lot of fruit trees have poisonous branches, even if the fruit is edible. For example, plums and other fruit that has a pit, the wood is poisonous. So stick to apple for your rabbits and guinea pigs. And I'm just going to be chopping this up into small enough pieces that it'll fit into the oven so it can be baked and sterilized. Okay, I'm just going to give them a quick rinse down with some cold water, kind of like you would wash a piece of fruit or something before you were going to eat it. And I didn't see anything on here in particular. Look for some bird poop or stuff like that. But I'm going to give it a rinse down anyway. And then it's going to go on to a pizza pan. Got some nice big pieces. And then all the little pieces. More of the little pieces like this. Good for guinea pigs. The big thick pieces for the big bunnies. And these guys will eat the bark right off all this stuff. So I'm just going to pile this all on here. You want to make sure it's not touching the heating elements in the oven. Okay, we're ready for the oven now. Okay, we have it in the oven. We're making sure that none of it's touching heating elements in the oven. And you want to stick around in the kitchen while this is going on. And the oven is set at 275 here, and I'm going to bake it for 30 minutes. Let's put it at 35 minutes because the oven has to heat up. Okay, 35 minutes at 275. It'll get nice and hot, and that will kill any bacteria that are on the pieces of wood. Okay, so here they are. They're nice and hot. They're so hot you can't touch them for too long. And should have killed the bacteria on them. Now, you can cut apple branches at any time of the year. You want to take the leaves off if you have, obviously if you have ones that are in leaf. You want to remove all the leaves. These little buds on here, I don't really remove them. They actually, in the oven, they get so hot that the buds just fry up basically. But this is ready to cool off right now, and then we're going to give some out to the guinea pigs and the bunnies, and you'll see how they like stripping the bark off. You can also do this with willow branches if you can find them, but once again you have to make sure that nothing was sprayed, that lawns weren't sprayed near them where the pesticides or herbicides would have drifted up onto the willow branches. But other than that, I wouldn't go with any other wood, just those two. And apple branches, you can always plant an apple tree. If you have a yard, plant an apple tree, and you'll have a big supply. After several years, you'll have a big supply of apple branches that will renew themselves. So here we have Stevie, and he's discovered that I put these little apple twigs in his area. So he's having some fun chewing on the little ones. Now this is not a curated channel, so you're going to see their cage is not perfect. I don't clean everything up just before I film. They're hopping in and out of these litter boxes all day long. This is Norman Zuzu. Norm's in the box, and Zuzu is going after one of these apple branches. But they're hopping in and out of the box all day, so the hay flops out, the droppings come out. This is what it is to have a bunny. You have to put up with the mess and clean it up. I'm just going to move back slightly. How you doing, Zoos? Is that good stuff? Now you're going to see, I just gave this to her, but by tomorrow morning, these branches will all be stripped of every bit of bark because they love the bark. And then all that crunching is wearing down their teeth. I don't want you poking yourself in the eye, though. I've never had trouble with them poking themselves in the eye, but let's turn it over like that. What do you think, Zoozers? Those smaller ends, they're going to chew them right down to the nubs. What are you doing, this Zoos? Norm and Zoos were two rabbits. They came up from Alabama, and they had apparently been kept outside. They were not bonded when I got them, but they both had come up at the same time, and it took a while to get them to bond, but they did bond together. Zuzu, the one with the flop ear, had a great fear of things for several years. Any bird that flew past the window, or if you came into the room too fast, she would just get terrified and start running in circles. In fact, she ran so hard in this pen that she broke one of the water bowls in half, and it was a crock type water bowl. She also ripped her nail off one of her toes. She was just terrified, and I think she was out in some kind of a hutch, and something must have tried to attack her at night. Couldn't get in, but terrified her. Maybe a raccoon, some other large animal, or a hawk during the day. I'm not sure. But after quite a few years, she's calmed down, and she doesn't go berserk anymore. And here's how they look after one day in with the bunnies. These were the apple branches that were full of bark. Now, one thing I have to say is that if your rabbit has not had apple branches before, you probably want to start with just one piece. Just give them one piece, because like with anything, you want to make sure their stomachs are not hit with a bunch of stuff that they're not used to. So give them one little piece for the first time, and then you can increase it as they get used to eating the apple bark.